Morning, everyone. I'll call our regular fiscal court meeting to order. We're duly seated with full court here this morning and several guests. If we will, let's say the pledge to the flag first. You'll stand, and then I'll offer a brief prayer before we begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our God and our Father, we come to you this morning with humble hearts, Lord, asking that you would bless and anoint us with your will, Father, that we could do good for the people of Calloway County. Father, we just pray your blessings on all that we think, say, and do, that it would all be done decency and order, that you would be honored and glorified. Please bless, watch over, and care for us this day, our families, and our community. Our nation, Father, we just lift it up to you also. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Morning, Counselor. Before we begin our meeting, I have a guest that I would like to introduce and ask her to say a few words if she would like. I would like to introduce Ms. Reba Celsor. She is the new CEO of our, well, you're not new anymore, you've been on the job 2 or 3 months, but of our hospital. She was hired in April to replace Jerry Penner. And Ms. Reba previously served as CEO of Spring Creek Hospital in Lebanon and West Tennessee Healthcare. She brings 35 years of experience with us, and I just want to make you feel welcome to our community, our court meetings. I know you've got all you can say grace over, so if you'd like to speak to us to whatever time you want, help yourself. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here and meet everyone. I appreciate the invitation, Judge. And I'd just like to say that I'm too close to that microphone. I'm excited about being here. You know, I think this hospital offers a great service to our community, and what I think I have already figured out 3 months in, I'm amazed at the support that the community provides for their local hospital. It's nice to see such engagement and support from the community. There's a sense of ownership that you don't always feel. And it's the same thing with the providers, and by that I mean the physicians and the nurse practitioners and those who support our hospital. I'm smart enough to know that people don't come to a hospital to see administrators. They come because of the care that we deliver, and they come because of the services that we provide and the kind hearts that are touching the lives of their friends and neighbors. And I feel that. The culture in the organization is a kind, compassionate culture. And a study was done recently, what people seek most in healthcare, and now it's compassion. And I think the reason for that is because we're so technology advanced. We have such technology at our fingertips now. You and I carry our technology around in our pockets now. So it's a different world that we live in, so you no longer can set yourself, you can no longer stand out because you have this advanced technology, because guess what, everyone else does too. So what sets us apart is compassion. And I think that's something that we offer at Murray-Calloway County Hospital that you don't see everywhere. You know, the kindness and looking people in the eye and truly caring about people. I see that in the staff at this organization. I see that in the physicians, and I see that in the nurse practitioners. My background is in nursing. I practiced nursing for a long time before I crossed over to the dark side and went into hospital administration. But I was with a corporation, and in that role I was in and out of about 40 different hospitals across the nation. And it became very evident to me that the CEO role really is pivotal to setting the culture of the organization. Because if my focus is caring about people, and I believe that healthcare is a servant role and it's calling, and if you set that standard, then that proliferates throughout the organization. And I see that already, so it's nice to know that we don't have a culture to beat down and change. We have an excellent culture here. So lots of opportunity. You know, we're blessed with many different specialty providers in our organization. Jerry did a great job with recruitment. So we're full-service hospital, you know, from interventional cardiology to the beautiful cancer center, birth and babies, and, you know, your regular surgical services that we provide. We have excellent equipment. This community has supported this hospital. We have top-notch equipment and great providers, and I'm just excited to be here. It's fun to be in a place where you feel like you can grow. And, you know, there's opportunities. There's always opportunities, no matter, you can always go from good to great, and you get better and better every day. That's the world we live in. But, yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for inviting me today. And I'm here for you, so if you ever need anything, feel free to ask to see Reba, the CEO, and I'll help you out at the hospital. Thank you.
Thank you. Reba, hold on just a second, please. Any y'all got any questions for her particularly? Make you officially a member of our community, and we have a pen. I'll ask Gina to put it on.
Well, thank you.
It's pretty musty.
That's pretty smart.
You know all about sticking people, don't you? There you go. Welcome.
I learned as an undertaker years ago, but I don't know what the hell it's on. So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
I'm happy to be here. My roots are in Kentucky, so I'm glad to be in the bluegrass. I did spend a lot of time in Tennessee. I've worked in Florida. I worked in West Virginia. That was a different world that I lived in for about 3 years. But I'm happy to be back in Western Kentucky, especially. I grew up in Logan County, so Western Kentucky's home to me. And we bought a home out on the lake.
Mr. Crutcher's your
I already hooked up with him.
All your road needs.
I already gave him a list. No, it's a beautiful community, and yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, thank you. I know you've got things to do. You're welcome to stay or.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out. That's okay.
Understand, we do. Okay, as we get into our county's business, first order of business will be to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June the 18th. You have a copy of those in your folder. If there's any additions or corrections, I'll move that they be approved.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next would be the minutes from the special call meeting of June 30th. They's also in your packet. If there's no questions, I need a motion to approve those.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Treasurer, we're ready for your volley.
Yes, sir. On your financial cover sheet for June 30th, 2025, receipts are $21,291,453.70. Disbursements are $15,285,484.50. Ending cash balance is $6,005,969.20.
Motion to approve financial sheet.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Treasurer.
Your total encumbrances for general fund is $418,707.61. Road fund is $207,403.32. Jail fund is $155,383.35. 911 fund is $20,884.14. And the auto tax is $11,416.90.
The motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills as presented. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We do have one budget transfer, as I mentioned Monday. This is where we opened the CDs, and it didn't carry forward from last fiscal year to this current fiscal year, so because DLG had already approved the budget, so this is just moving the money from reserve to transfer into the CD line, but I have to have y'all to approve it.
Okay, need a motion to approve the budget transfer.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I do have, just this morning, I realized that we do need to do a cash transfer. So it'll be a cash transfer from the Murray Bank Money Market to general fund in the amount of $100,000. Then it'll go from general fund to the road fund in the amount of $100,000.
Motion to approve that transfer.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do you want to present your final settlement?
Yes, I'll go ahead and do that, sir. Also in your packet, you have the treasurer's final settlement for the 24-25. It just breaks down the yearly totals of all the different funds that we have. But I also need y'all to, and it also has a section in the back, if y'all will look, it breaks down by each vendor that we use. So, and I'm sure y'all have already looked at this, but I'm just bringing it to your attention that all the vendors that we use during that fiscal year is in the back of it with the total amount that we expended out to them. I need that approved, please.
We need a motion to approve the final settlement.
Make a motion to approve the final settlement for last fiscal year. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my reports.
I will mention, Tanya, too, that actually there's 2 checks to Clark for the MAG building, and that kind of came in late, but it was included in the bills to pay.
Yes.
Before we get into other business, call on Danny Harrison. I think Danny's going to present the fire district's budget tax stuff. Come on up. Huh? Mental block, yeah, if you will, please.
On July the 7th, the Calloway County Fire Protection District Board of Trustees met. One of the things we discussed was the tax rates for this next season, and we left the tax rate at the same rate as it was last year, 9 cents per $100 of assessed value of real estate and personal property. I think, Larry, help me out here, I think that's been the same at least two previous years, if not 3. So we've been able to hold to the tax rate constant for a little bit anyway. Questions, comments?
See, no questions. As you've reported, you've done your daily or your annual report, so we'll assume that's accepted. We don't vote on that. It's
No.
just you have to report it to us, and that's all it
And it's
amounts
been
to.
turned in, so everything should be a go. And if you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to work.
Danny,
I
we
might,
appreciate your service, man. You've done us proud.
Danny, I might mention
Moses and I started the same year.
Danny, I was just gonna mention it's been .9 since 2019.
2019, well, we're doing better than I thought. We'll have to rectify that next year.
Thank you again. The Health Department and the East Fork Conservation District have already reported theirs. If you have questions about them, we've got copies of their submissions. This time I would like to reference a letter that we received yesterday, and we got it out to you. I don't know if you've had time to review it, but you should have a copy of it. I think it was like 4 pages. It was the things that Department of Revenue, I guess, does all this compensating rate for state law. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and call this a first reading, and then that way we can vote on it at our August meeting and set the county's tax rates. As you know, we'll have a public hearing, and this isn't the final thing, it's just an introduction of it to get it read in the record, because you have to have 2 readings. So I would recommend that, we set the tax rate for this year at 14.1%. That's, current rate is 14.0%. That's 1/10 of 1% increase would bring in about 37,
29,
29, okay.
29,000 more than
Right, right. That's
we left it at 14.
close to a third of a road, or any way you want to look at the extra revenue. And of course, we all know that all of our expenses have come up some, so it would be my recommendation then to include that in the rate of 14.1 at least for discussion during the next month, and then we'll vote on it next month or whenever y'all decide. But as you know, we're trying to get all this done. Gina has sent a letter out to all the taxing districts asking them to get those in a timely manner this year, so we can get the tax bills out early and, or at least on time. Yeah, do we need a second for that to call it first reading? Okay. Well, consider it ready, and then, if you will, please.
Judge, I might just mention too, we've had our tax rate at 14.0 since 2021.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate that too, because, I mean, we've been consistent with it, and we're basically, my recommendation is that we accept the 0.1% increase, which, as you said, would produce about $29,000 more dollars. Any other discussion on that? Thank you, Paul, for bringing that up. Ordinances on April 16th. Court heard its first reading of an ordinance authorizing street legal special vehicles to operate on public roads in accordance with KRS Chapter 186. The county chose to give the state law ample time to become effective, and seeing that several surrounding counties always pass similar ordinances, the county is now ready to have a second reading and public hearing with regards to that. So this time we'll recess into a public hearing for consideration of anything anybody wants to say about the special vehicle licensing and procedure. Madam Clerk, would you have any comment on it?
We've had two members that have chose to do the license plate, so that's great. So they were able to get a title, a license plate, and they'll be on the tax books for 2026. We let them know that the ordinance wasn't in effect yet, that they couldn't drive it here yet, so they're looking forward to this passing.
Any public comment?
Judge, I do know that I posted it on the county's webpage and on my magistrate Facebook page. And I know that's a select group of people that even see that, but I knew that people couldn't come to this meeting probably because of work to comment. So I told them, I said, you need to let us know. And nobody contacted me, or nobody had sent any information for or against. And everything that I'd received was positive, that there are a few that would use this process to legalize their UTV.
This has been going on in the legislature, at least 10 years, if not longer. I mean, people from different parts of the state have been requesting it. As you know, they've been kind of doing this up in East Kentucky, I think, a lot of those trails, and trying to get this done. So the state chose this year to pass the law. They've got it pretty well codified, as far as I know, and our process is just to enact and make it legal in Calloway County. I think is really what we're doing here.
There is one interesting thing. I watched a Zoom call from CACO on this the other day, and a lot of people didn't realize there's a KRS that allows reciprocity. And so if somebody has a UTV legalized in Tennessee or some bordering state, because of that reciprocity KRS, they can come to Kentucky and ride theirs on the roads, although we couldn't, is one point that they made during that Zoom call.
I don't think I've really comprehended all that too, but I mean, yeah, I mean, some of them out of state come in and be legal with it. We can't do it ourselves, kind of. Nikki, you got any comment you'd like to make about it?
Judge, I've got one comment on my side. I also on the side to side, and I can see the positive on this, and I've been torn on which way to lean, and I've had comments both ways. My only concern is the enforceability. Our sheriff's department is spread pretty thin right now, and I really have a problem with enforceability of this issue, and I'm really concerned about some of the wrecks it may create in the future. So that's my take on it right now.
My only concern is roads like 121, 94, where the traffic is really heavy and fast, if they might be a problem there. I ride one every day, so, I mean, that's just my opinion. It may be, some of the roads like 121 and 94 might be a problem. But I'm not saying I don't do the ordinance.
Well, I think we all know that people are doing it anyway, and I mean, Nikki has to deal with it as it is, and this is just somewhat of another bureaucratic layer, I guess, that we've got to deal with. But yeah, I am concerned about that, but I mean, I see them on US roads. Of course, there's some different restrictions about all that, and when people come into Miss Antonia to get license, they understand that. Any other public comment or magisterial comments? If not, we'll unrecess, I guess, and we're back in official business. So the motion would be then to recognize this ordinance as second reading. It's been officially vetted by public hearing, and we're ready to vote. Do we need a second on vote or proceed?
Second to have them.
Yeah. Okay, is there a second to have them vote? I'll make the motion to do it. You seconded it?
Second, yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Ricky, you've been awful quiet through this, you know.
I'm not gonna bloviate any.
Okay.
Everybody says about everything that I know, so.
Well, let's go ahead and do a roll call vote. Just anybody, or would you rather vote straight out? I don't care. All right, the motion is to adopt the ordinance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Okay. Resolutions. Have a resolution to approve, authorize me to sign the statewide emergency management mutual aid agreement. Josh, you wanna comment on any of that? Kind of tell us what it is for public record.
Yes, Judge, so this is the statewide mutual aid agreement. This has been at least a couple years in the making, but basically to get all of our local jurisdictions on the same page across the state to where we could request mutual aid from any local government, including city or county. So this has come down from KYEM. We sent it over to county attorney's office. He's reviewed it as well. No issues seen with it, so would appreciate passage. We'll answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Josh?
Thank you.
All right, I need a motion authorizing me to go ahead and sign that as judge and get it forwarded on to Josh and then to the state level.
I make that motion to allow you to sign the agreement.
Motion second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Board appointments, we have only one board appointment to make. The library board has submitted names to the commissioner, but I have not received those back from the commissioner yet. I guess we'll do those at the next meeting, assuming they get them in. Used to, they would be, the board would send them up after their meeting that night, and by 10 o'clock next morning, I got the names back, but I think maybe the new commissioner and the library and archives people are hopefully doing what they're supposed to do and reviewing those a little closer maybe. So at any rate, today we just have the one appointment for the Fire Protection District. Rhonda Lamb, who is currently serving on the board as treasurer, is up for another 3-year appointment. She's agreed to serve again, and I would therefore recommend that we appoint her to another term to expire 6/30/2028. Rhonda Lamb for the Fire Protection District. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel, in your package, you got a copy of the thing that Tori's put together for our personnel changes since we last met. No questions on that. I would move that we approve the personnel, I guess you'd call those appointments.
Make a motion to approve the personnel recommendations as presented.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Today we opened the bids Monday for the courthouse painting restoration on the exterior. The ad was placed in the ledger. We received 2 bids this time. Y'all were there for the bid openings. Any discussion about it? I think we talked Monday to an extent about some questions maybe we had as far as kind of paint and to what extent there might be some reasonable guarantees of how long. Those weren't included in the bid that I'm aware of, and didn't know if you want to take action on accepting the bids today or try to investigate a little further to entertain a motion if there's a motion to accept them or any kind of motion.
Following our discussion in our Monday morning meeting, we discussed those things that you said, and Deputy Judge Winchester asked me if I would reach out to the 2 companies, Henry & Son and Perseverance, and just ask them a couple of questions. Based on their bids, I reached out to Henry & Son. They replied back, sounded very competent. There were a few things that he said that he noticed when he inspected that he did not put in his bid because we didn't ask for it, but he's going to do it anyway, and that's taking care of pre-treating for rust. That wasn't in there, he said, but that's part of it. We discussed the warranty. He said the warranty is the paint and the workmanship is backed by Sherwin-Williams, and typically that's 20 to 25-year warranty. I discussed with him, our big thing is the columns and making sure they're clean and the paint sticks, and he agreed with that would be a concern for theirs, and he felt like that with the priming and the painting that could be accomplished. We also discussed, I asked him 2 questions. One is a conversation I had with County Clerk Antonia is about the washing of the windows, and he said that was not included. I asked him why he had his lift there, if that was something they could do, and he said that could be an extra cost, and I said, well, we don't want a change order. I was curious of what it might be, and I said, you might come up with a number. We also talked about pigeons. We talked about spikes and netting and his experience with that on the entranceways. He definitely agreed we had a pigeon and a wasp problem. He recommended the bird netting. He said the spikes typically doesn't seem to work long-term. That was a job that he didn't feel like doing. We discussed when he leaves his lift there after work hours, could it be used to put up the netting? And he had no problem with that. I seconded him, questioned him about his insurance. He said he didn't foresee an insurance problem with us using his lift if we wanted to clean the windows, if we wanted to put up the bird netting in the evenings after they had left for the day. I reached out to the second Perseverance. The phone number that was on their bids was the wrong phone number. So I used Google and found the right phone number and messaged them, and they've yet to reply back to answer questions.
And I will add, just for the record, I emailed everyone the original estimate that we received from Lakeland Painting, from Murray, and made sure that that was a still valid estimate, and he said yes, so that would be part of the consideration. So you now have 3 total to consider.
To that, I would just kind of bounce that off the county attorney, is the legalities of, we had a bid date, can we accept that preliminary first bid when it wasn't part of the original request for bids?
Sorry about the painting.
Lakeland.
Oh, like painting? I thought you said painting.
She did.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Painting courthouse.
I didn't know how many bids you all opened.
We opened 2, but Lakeland we had previous, just as we were exploring the cost.
So, did you say painting light?
No, they did not submit during the process, but we had a year ago asked them for a cost estimate. And when I reached back, he said it's still a valid estimate, meaning if we wanted to consider it, he didn't change anything from a year ago.
Well, short circuit that and give him time to think.
Does it cover the bid requirement? Like, I mean,
Yes,
is it?
yes, it does.
I don't know if there's an issue with someone, I've never seen a problem with somebody sending in a bid too early. Sending in a bid too late, obviously is problematic, but I mean, if they submit, even if they submit it prior to when we give notice that we want it, as long as it meets the bid specs, I don't think there's a problem. I was just gonna, I was gonna mention in response to what you're saying, whoever oversees the painting project, you wanna make sure, and a professional painter's gonna do this anyway, but I would just make sure that they are, documenting that they're applying the paint in accordance with the instructions, so that we can take advantage of the warranty if necessary. Before, it's good to have. But yes, so I think that's like. As long as the pictures have been doing it exactly like it says to do on painting. So Paul, do you have a recommendation?
Well, what's price-wise, where does that put us?
From the 3,
Yeah.
so the most expensive would be the Lakeland, or the highest bid. Middle bid would have been Henry and Sons, and the low bid would have been Perseverance.
But you have not heard back from Henry and Sons?
Now, I heard back from Henry and Sons. I have not heard back from Perseverance.
Okay. We'll have to go back.
And I think, is there about, and I don't have the bids right in front of me, is about $10,000 between
Not quite.
Lakeland and Henry and Son?
Where are Henry, are they local?
Yes, sir.
Area?
$2,000 difference in the 2 bids.
Too?
Okay. I think when Lakeland did it, they had 2 different quotes, and maybe I was thinking of the higher
sent in before it was advertised, so I guess is that still a bid then?
I don't think it causes you, I don't think it causes any concern. Is that the way we would like to do it? No, but I don't think we have to kick it out from a bidding procedure standpoint. I think we're allowed to accept the most bids if we want.
And would you comment on the lift sitting there after work and, I mean,
Do
us
you
know anything about a
do you
lift
want
or?
me to? I cannot answer it if you don't want me to answer it.
Well, I am concerned about
Yeah.
liability, both of the equipment and then the individual.
I think if he says that he's contacts insurance, then they're not gonna be a problem. I mean, that's the kicker is we need to make sure that some of these insurance is still on.
And he didn't contact his insurance, he was just off the cuff answering.
I would say if he doesn't have a problem with you using it and he thinks, that insurance might cover, I bet we can figure out a way to,
Is he on the lift or is he renting
He
it?
is renting it, so. And maybe that's a question down the line, we've gotta pick a vendor first, and, Deputy Judge, I come up with 11,000.
Between Lakeland and your lowest bid is 11,000, but between your first and second lowest bids, there's only a $2,000 difference. Does that make sense? You have three.
73,600, 73,600.
Between Henry's and Son and Premier.
Oh, okay. Well, I was,
Eliminating Lakeland.
I got you.
Yeah.
I was talking about the difference between Lakeland at 84, almost 85, and then Henry at almost 74.
So that's
So,
what I said, Lakeland being your highest bid, whatever the other one is your lowest bid, there's about $11,000 difference.
I guess, in my mind, I'm looking at Henry and Son or Lakeland, and there's $12,000 difference. Lakeland's higher.
I can say that I haven't used them. I've had positive feedback from others that have on here and such for what that's worth.
Well, I guess we're at a point, is there a motion to accept any of these, and then if so, which one?
Never having hired either one of them, thinking money, dollars wise, I would have to go with Henry and Son.
They are using Sherman-Williams paints,
Yes, sir.
and I agree with what Brian said. We need to be sure that we follow all that, because when you're talking about 20, 25 years, it's prorated, which I assume it probably is, but you get into this proration stuff, and that's what I'd want some clarity on, basically. So is there a motion to accept the Henry bid?
Well, that is my motion based on the dollar value. Because I don't know anything about either one of them as far as their reputation and references.
Well, do we take a chance, or do we want to try to investigate some? I don't mean to say take a chance, that's not the way I should have phrased that, but there is a motion then to accept the lowest bid, which is Henry and Henry.
Second lowest.
What?
Second lowest. It's not the lowest bid.
Perseverance was the lowest, and they have not replied back.
Okay, I got you now. Second lowest bid, which is dollars.
73,000. They went back 73,800.
600.
600.
73.6. Okay, we have a motion to accept that bid, $73,600. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion second. Further discussion?
They should make a, we can request a submittal from them that will detail everything that they're gonna do and the processes and the manufactured data on those products and so forth too. So that should be forthcoming before we tell them to do the job, even though we accept the bid.
By contract, correct?
Okay, it's accepted based on them showing us what they're gonna do.
See, and that will meet the requirement for the guarantee, the warranty, making sure they put the right primers with the right things and so forth, right preparation.
One question I got that's really, I don't know that much about paints, but theirs was satin finish, or did you say that? Satin finish is opposed to semi-gloss, gloss, or flat. And y'all know anything about between the differences? Satin's flat, it's flat. That's probably
Semi-gloss.
semi-gloss or satin, but I don't know which. And is that, maybe that's something ought to be,
We can confirm that in the bid submittal.
yeah, and I mean, maybe one wire's better than the other or something too, that might make a difference.
Yeah, the more glossier it is, the easier it is to wash. For outside exposure, I'm not an expert on that.
What did you say, the shinier it is, the easier it is
The
to wash?
easier it is to clean.
Well, my thinking was semi-gloss, but I don't know anything about paint. So. Okay, motion second to accept bid $73,600, subject to, what do you call that?
Details submitted by contract.
Yeah, details submitted by contractor, I like that. Sound like something legal, doesn't it? Are you ready to vote? Further questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Jeremy Whitmore, I think you've got a presentation. You're all set up. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Court, for my, I guess this is my fourth annual report provided to you on behalf of the Calloway County Tourism Commission. Just going to highlight a few items that I've provided to you ahead of time. Hopefully you've had the chance to review that, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. A few items I did want to bring to your attention that I think are pretty cool that we've been up to. One is the Tennessee Riverline program that we've partnered with. We've completed stage 1 of that process. I provided you all that report, very thorough report that we undertook with the Tennessee Riverline organization, so that our leadership committee, which is separate from the Tourism Commission itself, is now entering into stage 2, and we're very excited about the potential what that program and partnership brings. Second, I wanted to bring to your attention, we support activities that might go on in the community, and we have one happening right here tonight. We think we all recognize Murray State as a big fish here in Murray-Calloway County. So we partner with them with Murray State Athletics, but we also try to find other opportunities. And so this evening we are hosting about 40 to 50 individuals that are from Belize and other parts of the United States of a conference that they're holding at Murray State this week. And we'll be out at Cypress Springs, taking them on some boat rides, giving them dinner, and introducing these people to Kentucky Lake. So I'm excited about that this evening. Lastly, as Chandler Thinks, you would see some notes in there, but that's an ongoing process. After 4 years of existence, the commission felt we were at a time to really in-depth research and rebrand who Calloway County Tourism can be and should be. So that's been a very exciting process. Steve Chandler of Chandler Thinks came up from Nashville yesterday, met with our board, and I think you'll be hearing some things in the months ahead. Probably before next July, I'll come to you with some additional insight from Chandler Thinks. So be on the lookout for that. And then lastly, I did want to publicly thank the board. I run it day to day, but the board really sets the direction and the vision of what we do, and they're all very committed individuals, much like here. There's lively discussions about what we can do and should do, so I want to appreciate publicly all that they do to support me. But sometimes pictures are worth 1,000 words. I guess I should stop here for a second. Was there any questions about any of the information I provided, our budget for the upcoming year, any of the activities that I outlined in there? If not, I don't think I've ever done audio visual. Sometimes pictures are worth 1,000 words. So I've got 3 videos I'm going to show you. They're very brief. The first one is our first foray into TV commercials, if you will, in our partnership that began 2 seasons ago with MSU Athletics. This is a commercial that runs during ESPN Plus telecasts of Murray State games. So if you ever tuned into a Murray State athletic event on ESPN Plus, you've likely seen this first one. And it's got no words to it. It's just music and visuals. The second one I'll show you is with Fishing University. You should have read that. We've had them 2 years. That's an outfit out of Tennessee that goes around and fishes in various lakes, films a 30-minute episode. And last February was our first episode. Next February will be our next episode from their fishing about 2 months ago here in Kentucky Lake. And so they produce a video promoting the area where they fish as part of that agreement that we have with them. They appear on the Outdoor Channel and a number of other venues throughout the year. And the last one you're going to see is our most recent and largest partnership that we've had, and that's with the Major League Fishing outfit. They held their Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tournament for the first time ever up on Kentucky Lake. They were based out of Kentucky Dam Village, but they did fish the entire lake from the top all the way down to the Paris Landing Bridge. And that was a partnership that, as you might imagine, those bids and those opportunities are kind of expensive. So we partnered with Marshall County Tourism to be able to do that. So that last commercial you'll see, it's actually a joint commercial of Marshall County Tourism and Calloway County Tourism that will air when the Major League Fishing show of the tournament that takes place premieres in late October and November. And if you're into fishing, that's a big thing, and I think you'll really be impressed with that commercial that they produced for us. So I'm going to walk back there, start that up, and hope you enjoy seeing some of the promotions we do for the county.
Questions, Jeremy? I tell you what, those are amazing. I mean, those are some really professional looking, things, and your way of marketing them sounds pretty awesome. I'm just so proud to see something like that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, I was able to participate in one of those sessions of these guys you're talking about.
Chandler, thanks. Mhm.
And, it was very interesting to listen to different perspectives of different things in Callaway County. And of course, I can't separate Murray from Callaway County. It's all one thing. And Murray State was at the top of the list on most all the conversations, but it was very interesting to be a part of that, and appreciate your efforts.
Absolutely. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks.
I want to compliment you too on your 4th of July attire and workmanship, and that was just did a great job. Thank you. All right, committee reports. Ms. Jenner?
Yes, the Admin Ordinance Committee did meet in regular session on July the 7th at 1:00 p.m. The majority of that meeting consisted of discussion and information presented to us by Emily Cook, our Animal Shelter Director and ACO. We are looking at ordinance number 060321 to update some of the rules and regulations governing and the maintenance of our animals in the county. So she shared a copy of several other counties' ordinances. Most notably was Jessamine County's. We are looking now to potentially rewrite our current ordinance, get some more KRS language added to, and updated, I will say. That ordinance, I think, is from, what is it, 2009 maybe? So it needs some revision and update. So we're looking at that. That will be forthcoming to the fiscal court when it's ready. And then Tori also shared about 7 SOPs that she and Emily together have been working on with Animal Shelter, which is great to get that information put together and in writing for the employees, particularly new ones coming on board. So that was the majority of the meeting. I will say that one thing that came out of the roundtable discussion that I do need the court's approval on is the fact that we currently contract with Tri-State Safety LLC for our drug testing. We have been doing that since 2020 when we bid it out. And it came to our attention, to the committee's attention, that the current owner that signed the original contract has kind of stepped aside. Kyle, I'm not sure how to, Wrights is the current president. And so I reached back to Kyle and said, hey, it's been a while. Would you like to submit an updated contract? So I have a copy of that contract. You have copies in front of you, as well as a letter from him with some adjustments on some pricing, which, by the way, we had not gone up since 2020, I guess, is when we signed the original contract. So, and the increases are very minimal. So just wanted to present that to the court for your approval. Again, it's more or less just to get an updated copy of a contract on file and make sure that the treasurer is getting correct invoicing on the pricing. And then if the court so chooses to move forward to do another bid, that would be up to you all, but I just felt the need to get that updated and on file. So I'll present that, and Brian, if it needs a motion, since it's an updated contract, that would be your call.
It probably does, just because there's some changes in pricing.
Okay.
But I think the contract is, would cover it. I think it's basically the same as
The one we had before.
Every year. Needs to prove the new pricing, I think. We can motion to do that.
That doesn't,
Not me.
that doesn't, I mean, all that doesn't go over the 40,000 a year, does it? All their expenses? I mean, would it kick us into a bidding thing?
No.
based on what you said, I think we could, if there's a motion to do so, we just approve an updated contract. Is that correct? So would anybody care to make that motion?
I have a question.
Sure.
Did you see my email this morning that I sent you? Because we discussed whether contracts had to be renewed every 2 years.
Did not see your email this morning.
It came in late. Deputy Judge asked me if I'd looked into it, and actually I postponed that in my mind and didn't until this morning. I don't know if the KRS applies. It just talks about multi-year contracts and being renewed or rebid every biennium. And I think this conversation goes back to whenever I created the pest control contract, that it was renewed or rebid every 2 years. And so that was my only question. I know this is on the spot.
I'd have to look at it. I know we did it correctly the first go around. Typically, the requirements for doing the first time was a bit more stringent.
That's the KRS's reference. So while he's looking at that, I'll just say that the current contract does say that it's renewable automatically every, like, year to year, unless one or the other party gives notice, 30, I think it's 30-day notice or whatever to change that. So unless we were to rebid the entire drug testing procedure, there would be no reason other than just to get an updated contract with a new date and signature.
Any other board providers?
Yes, when we did the original back in 2019, 2020, I believe we had 3, maybe 4, one of which was the hospital. I do not remember the other 2 that bid, but they were all individual local providers. But this one was the most economical based on their pricing.
That's relatively convoluted.
Aren't all KRSs?
You know, we could. We could err on the safe side and rebid if we don't need, I don't know how. Does our safety policy that we get the discount, sort of Tory now. The policy discount from insurance. Is there any kind of deadline that that's looming to have that in place?
September 24th.
Okay. So. I would
So again, my recommendation would be, let's accept the contract to get it valid and on file, and then if you advise the court to rebid, we could do that before the September deadline.
I think that would be fair, because the contract says it can be terminated either party for 30 days. So, use it as a stopgap
Right.
and rebid is probably.
My deadline is September 24th. I usually try to get it in 30 days, so like we need to get that done by August.
Well, we would have it in,
So
I guess my support would be accepted so that we don't mess up our discount getting the insurance company. And then at any time,
attorney has alluded to, is that we could go ahead and accept the contract with the price adjustments and move forward with eventually rebidding.
Do we, in that motion, is that including go ahead and advertise to accept bids effective whatever date you want to pick? Just a question.
Yeah, I think in that motion was that we would move forward with rebidding, but I did not state a timeline.
Would you think we ought to set a date?
Why don't, if you're willing to modify your motion, have it put at a date to be determined by what's your title with regard to the safety stuff? I would say.
HR compliance manager.
I would say by the HR compliance manager, and then that way, we don't start it too early to mess up the package, but we can start it shortly thereafter as soon as she's ready. Sound good?
Yes, so I'm amending my motion. Instead of saying that we would,
You're restating your motion.
restating my motion, thank you, is that we will move forward to rebid it at a date to be announced by our HR director to comply.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Get all that down, Ms. Antonio.
I believe so, yes, sir.
So before I cause any more commotion, I'm going to say that's the conclusion of my report.
Okay, Squires? Paul?
You start.
Further comment? And I do want to, I don't think Jeremy mentioned it, you may want to update the court on the TVA, where you are with them.
Yes, sir, I can do that. A while back, a few months ago, we talked about leasing through TVA the property down at Boatwright Landing. There's an application process. There's a $1,500 fee. That fee has been sent in. The application has been sent in, and TVA has replied back that it's received, and they are beginning the process of doing the research into that tract of land, which is basically looking for anything archaeological, endangered species, and that typically takes 6 to 8 months, I'm told, to finalize that permit, at which time we would move forward with thoughts of how do we clean up that area. The only other thing I was going to mention was just, again, my perseverance to pursue delinquent taxes. I've emailed out all the county clerks and PVAs to get updated delinquent tax information from 2023, and about 30% have replied back, and this was in regard to helping to support Representative Imes' bill that she proposed last session, House Bill 159, basically helping counties do some type of mass foreclosures on these properties that have gone delinquent for many years, habitual properties.
We did have a Zoom call, like you and Ricky and myself, joined Chairman Petrie, and he's agreed to help push, and hopefully we can expand it. I've talked to Shelley Keiko, and she's working to be sure we can get a comprehensive bill with as much protection for the counties as we can, and not protection, but ability to collect our delinquent taxes. Anything else, Paul?
No, sir, thank you for the opportunity.
Don?
Just a couple of things. First, I'd like to thank Paul and Representative Imes for all their work on this legislation and getting all this information in. It can mean a lot of money in the future. Second of all, I'd like to thank the courts for approving getting a new facelift on the courthouse. Next to roads, that's probably my second biggest complaint is the looks of the courthouse. So I appreciate the court moving forward on that. And that's it. Thank you.
Josh?
Imagine, Judge.
Okay. Counselor?
I don't have anything, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Tanya, anything else?
No, sir.
Gina? Ms. Antonio?
Appreciate the facelift on the courthouse. That's all I know, but it does bother some people when they walk in and see it, so it'll be a shining light.
One thing, yeah. Before we do that, this, I guess would go back under business, so I apologize for getting it out of order, just slipped my mind. One of the air units upstairs is out, basically Josh's office. We've looked at 2 or 3 different approaches to him having not set in 95-degree weather up there. We have 3 bids, estimates, sorry. 3,
So the magistrate should have a copy of all 3. They're all 3 local, I take that back, 2 locals
2,
and
yeah.
1 from Benton, which was the J&M that has done work on our jail. Of the 3, all 2 of the 3 indicated that replacing the unit is the least expensive route. That if you tried to put anything else, like a split unit in a window or anything, you're gonna be out more money in the long run. So all 3 of them looked at this and gave estimates on exactly the same thing. And I do believe Thornton
was
the low bid.
Low bid at $79.50. The other 2 bids were 94 something and 99 something. So Thornton was about $2,000 cheaper, and be my recommendation that we go ahead and authorize him to replace the unit in Josh's.
If that's your motion, I second.
Okay. Yeah, I made a motion, my recommendation motion, whatever. Motion second then on authorizing Thornton to go ahead and proceed with whatever work's necessary to, it's basically a 3.5 ton air handler, heat pump, heat kit, duct modification, installation, $7,950. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Tori, you got any other comments or words of wisdom?
No, sir.
Chris?
No, sir.
Sheriff?
No, sir.
Mr. Jailer? Justin?
An update on Old Salem, I did talk to Jim Smith, they're hoping to pave next week with the heat. Maybe it'll dry it out, and they should be able to get that roadway paved.
Josh?
No, sir, just thank you for that expenditure.
Jeremy? Bill, if you want to comment, you can.
Love to be here,
There was some concern on Facebook about spraying around the bridges, and 2 or 3 people, we've discussed all that. I will point out that the chemicals they use are applied by a certified operator. They do follow the USDA and all the federal agencies, Division of Water, all the environmental protection of the state, all those guidelines, and think what you want to. I don't think we're doing anything we shouldn't be doing. There is some concern, I know, about how much kill we're getting. I think it might be a little bit early to pass judgment on that. I mean, it's basically to clear the brush, heavy stuff away from the bridges. And with regard to erosion or pollution or all these things, but I just think that ought to be addressed, that we're following procedures, fully legal, fully vetted by Department of Agriculture, USDA, our state people. I assume the chemical manufacturers were following all of that to a T. Again, the application is done standard procedures, so I make no apology for what we're trying to do for the betterment. I know you get all these things about environmental hazards and all this, that, and other, but I mean, as far as I know, our government's certified all these. I think we're doing the right thing and trying to, I mean, I don't see any potential for anybody getting too upset about it, but that's what Facebook's for. Any other comment from anybody? Entertain motion to adjourn. What? No. Have a motion second to adjourn. Before we do that, I'm trying to work out, I've got some scheduling problems with the Judges Association testifying for the House Transportation Budget Review Committee. That kind of conflict with our next meeting, but if we do need to change it, I'll advise everybody plenty of time, just got to get it all worked out, but it kind of applies to both August and September. I see no reason if I can't be here that Don can't fully run the meeting as senior magistrate, so. But anyway, I'll let you know when I get all this scheduling done, so. Anyway, we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.